You know, Hong Kong? Hong Kong is pretty cool. This is the M Plus, a contemporary art museum out in Hong Kong. This is my favorite piece at the M Plus. It's the old people's home. You'll see leaders, both religious, political, all in their element. It's a pretty striking piece, and them crashing into each other really sells the point. This piece is particularly interesting. It looks really enticing to sit in a chair, but if you would have sat it when it was first displayed, you would have sat in pig intestines, which would have been a very visceral experience. Here's a virtual city that was created in Second Life, and everything in here looks like it was straight out of Xavier Renegade Angel. They brought in a sushi restaurant from Japan, and it's one of the most aesthetically pleasing buildings you've ever been in. This museum is incredibly interesting, and I think it's worth seeing, but there's a lot that I don't feel comfortable showing you. There's about a third of the museum that I'd even talk about. That might be one of the most unique and interesting museums I've been in my entire life. If you're in Hong Kong, M Plus, it's about $15 to go into. It's very interesting if you like contemporary art. After that, I wandered around Hong Kong for a bit, went over to Hong Kong Island to go check out the prison because it's rare to see performance art where I live. There's also a contemporary art museum inside of the prison. It was closed, but I'll leave you with this.
It's a dark and stormy night. Three guys are sitting around a campfire. One of the guys says, "Hey, Jack, tell us the story." He says, "Okay." It was a dark and stormy night. Three guys were sitting around a campfire. One of the guys says, "Hey, Jack, tell us a story." He says, "Okay." It was a dark and stormy night. Three guys were sitting around a campfire. One of the guys says, "Hey, Jack, tell us a story." He says, "Okay." It was a dark and stormy night. Three guys were sitting around a campfire. One of the guys says, "Hey, Jack, tell us a story." He says, "All right." It was a dark and stormy night. Three guys were sitting around a campfire. One of the guys says, "Hey, Jack, tell us a story." He says, "All right." It was a dark and stormy night. Three guys were sitting around a campfire. One of the guys says, "Hey, Jack, tell us a story." He says, "All right." It was a dark and
Folks,
stormy
that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I mean, I like all this art, but I really think that this is the most interesting art piece here. You can see they use a lot of traditional Chinese and also English to express the feeling of what the West Gallery is. It's very unique, like the way that this particular stand was placed. I mean, the creativity. There's that what looks like a fixture on the wall. Like, what does it mean? There's no information that tells you anything about this art piece, but I find this one particularly enthralling and probably the best piece of this museum.